Hi everyone, hello, welcome back to my class, English Year 4 with Teacher Ayu. This is our third class and we are still in Module 1, Where Are You From? So now, let's start. To begin today's class, we are going to start by doing a recap of last week's lesson. Did you remember? Last week we learned about daily routines, leisure activities, and adverb of frequency. Okay, have you remember that we learned about how to say our daily routine? Like example, wake up at 6 o'clock in the morning, do homework after school, watch TV after dinner, and play football every Wednesday. We also learned about adverb of frequency, which is always, usually, sometimes, never. Okay, how to use it in a sentence? I always wake up at 6 o'clock in the morning. I usually do homework after school. Okay, did you remember what adverb of frequency was? It is to tell how often an activity is being carried out. And then the last one, we also learned about leisure activities. Did you remember? We learned about ice skating, swimming, playing football, playing chess, exercising, playing badminton. So that is what we learned last week. Now, we are going to start our lesson for this week. Today's is lesson 5, project, and lesson 6, story time. This is the content standard and the learning standards for today's lesson. We are going to focus on our main skill, writing, and our complementary skill, reading. Learning objective. Class, by the end of the lesson, student will be able to first, recognize and read a personal email. Fill in the blanks correctly to complete a personal email about themselves. Listen and enjoy reading about Charlie's Birthday Surprise Part 1 story. And understand story about Charlie's Birthday Surprise Part 1 by answering the comprehension questions correctly. Success criteria for today's lesson. By the end of the lesson, you should ask this to yourself. I can first write an email about myself. Second, answer 10 out of 12 questions correctly about Charlie's Birthday Surprise Part 1 story. And the third one is to match 3 out of 4 characters in the story with their dialogue. Now we are going to start with lesson 5, project. Please open your textbook to page 11 and be ready. Are you ready? Now we are going to listen and read about Kumar's email.
Module 1, Project. 1. What's Kumar's favourite sport? Listen and read.
Hi, my name's Kumar and I'm 10 years old. I'm from Malaysia and I live in Malacca. I've got a brother. His name is Rama. Have you got any brothers or sisters? In this picture, I'm playing football. Football is my favourite sport. What's your favourite sport? Please write back soon. Bye for now. Kumar.
Okay class, now let's take a look at Kumar's email. Okay, how do we know that this is an email? Okay, the first characteristic of email is that it has a to and from address bar. In to, you write the email address of the person that you want to send the email to. In the from, you write your own email address. What is an email address? Email address is an account that we use to send mail through internet. Usually, it has our names, the symbol of @ and then the web that we register our email. Look here, this is Kumar's. Okay, and Kumar write an email about himself. He said that he is 10 years old, he's from Malaysia, and he lives in Malacca. He also got a brother. His brother's name is Rama. And then he asked to pen pal, have you got any brothers or sisters? He also included his picture in the email, showing what he likes to do, which is playing football. And then he asked his pen pal friends, what's your favorite sport? Please write back soon. Bye for now, Kumar. Okay, class. Now, we are going to move to activity 2. Look here, activity number 2 in the same page. Read Kumar's email and complete. Okay, this activity you need to write in your exercise book dalam buku latihan. Okay, just write down the instruction and then this one, number 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay, number 1, name. What is his name? Yes, I already highlighted here, Kumar. What is his age? Yes, 10 years old. Where is he from? Yes, just write Malaysia. He lives in Malacca. Family. He's got a brother and he likes football. Good job. Have you finished? Now let's check our answers. Yes, correct. You get all correct. Very good. Now let's move on to the next activity. Now, please open your workbook to page 7, project. We are going to do activity 1 and 2. Look at activity 1. Complete about yourself. First, write down your name, your age, where are you from, which is in your country, where do you live, which is your state, family, how many siblings do you have? If you have no other siblings, just write, I'm an only child. The last one is, what do you like? Okay, there is no correct answer for this because it depends on you. This is an example of an answer that I have done for you. Name, put your name here. For my case, it's Sabrina. Age, put your age, 10 years old. And here, I'm from Malaysia. I live in Selangor. Family, you write how many sisters or brothers do you have? And the last one is, I like one activity that you like here. This is an example of my answer. Okay, this is my name, my age, obviously not 10 years old, but I'm giving this for you. I'm from Malaysia. I live in Selangor. I have one brother and 2 sisters, and I like playing badminton. Students, now we are going to write an email about ourselves. Okay, first you have to put your email address here. Just write your name and then put at gmail.com or at yahoo.com, or you can use your Delima email ID. Okay, and then you fill in the blanks here with the information that you just write in activity 1. After you finish completing this email, then you can draw a picture of yourself doing the activity that you like. Students, I have labeled the blanks for you. Here you should put your email. How to write your email? I have give an example here. Write your name at gmail.com, and then you fill in the blank with the information that you just did in activity 1. Okay, you may follow this as a guide. And again, for this activity, there is no correct answer because it's based on what you write in activity 1. When you finish, please send a picture of your work through Telegram. Now, moving on to the second lesson for today, which is story time. Charlie's Birthday Surprise, Part 1.
Module 1. Story time. Charlie's Birthday Surprise, Part 1. Activity 1. Who's Charlie's favourite actor? Listen and read.
It's Saturday morning and Charlie is watching TV. Charlie's favourite actor is on TV. His name is Bruce Chang. Bruce is Chinese. Charlie likes Bruce because he is a good actor and he does karate. Charlie also does karate.
I do karate too.
A lady on TV is asking Bruce questions.
Do you do karate every day, Bruce?
She asks.
Yes, I do karate every day after breakfast.
Bruce says.
I also play football. Sometimes I play table tennis at the weekends.
Charlie also plays football.
I play football too.
Later that afternoon, Charlie rides his bike to the park. Charlie's friends, Reggie and Dean, are at the park. Charlie tells his friends about the TV show.
Bruce Chang is great,
Says Charlie.
I want to meet him.
But Bruce Chang lives in China.
Says Reggie.
Yes,
Says Charlie.
I know. Let's go to China.
Reggie and Dean laugh.
We can't go to China.
Says Reggie.
Let's play football instead.
Says Dean.
Oh, all right.
Says Charlie.
This is the story that we listened to and read just now. Then after this, we are going to answer comprehension question. Remember class, you can always look back at the story to find your answers. Now open to page 8 in your workbook and we are going to answer comprehension question related to the story that we listened to just now. Okay, are you ready? Now, activity 1. Read the text in the student's book. Then read the sentences and write Charlie or Bruce. Okay, for this activity, you have to choose whether it is Charlie or Bruce that did this. Let's look at number 1. He is watching TV on Saturday morning. Who? Charlie or Bruce? Number 2. He is a famous actor. Who? Charlie or Bruce? Number 3. He does karate every day after breakfast. Who did this? Charlie or Bruce? Number 4. Reggie and Dean are his friends. Are they friends with Charlie or Bruce? Number 5. He lives in China. Who lives in China? And the last one is he wants to go to China. You have to pause this video, complete this activity, then continue after you finish answering these questions. Now, here's the answers for all the questions. Number 1, who's watching TV on Saturday morning is Charlie. Who is a famous actor? Bruce. Who does karate every day after breakfast? Bruce. Reggie and Dean are friends with Charlie. And Bruce lives in China and Charlie wants to go to China. Now, let's look at activity 2. Read and match who said what. For this activity, you need to look back at the story in your book. Okay, number 1 we have Bruce, number 2 we have Charlie, number 3 we have Reggie, and number 4 we have Dean. And let's look at the dialogue. A. But Bruce Chang lives in China. Who said this? B. I want to meet him. Who said this? C. Let's play football instead. Who said this? And sometimes I play table tennis at the weekend. Okay, pause this video and then only play when you have finished answering. Are you ready? This is the answer to this question. Bruce said, sometimes I play table tennis at the weekend. And Reggie said, but Bruce Chang lives in China. Charlie said, I want to meet him. And Dean said, let's play football instead. Now we are moving on to activity 3. Read and write T for true and F for false. If it's a true statement that happened in the story, you write T, and if it is a false statement which it doesn't happen in the story we read just now, you write F. Okay, look at number 1. Bruce Chang dances and sings on TV. Is it true or false? Number 2. A man is asking Bruce the questions on the TV show. True or false? Number 3. Charlie plays football. True or false? Number 4. Charlie sees his 2 friends at school on Monday morning. True or false? Okay, pay attention to Monday morning. Number 5. Charlie wants to meet his favorite actor, Bruce Chang. And the last one is Charlie, Reggie, and Dean are going to China. So, did you get your answer? Are you ready? Okay, this is the answer to all the questions that we read just now. The first one is false, the second one is false, the third one is true, the fourth one is false, the fifth one is true, and the sixth one is false. We have come to the end of our lesson for today, but before we go, let's check our success criteria for today's lesson. First, can you write an email about yourself? Second one, can you answer 10 out of 12 questions correctly about Charlie's birthday surprise part 1 story? And did you get to match 3 out of 4 characters in the story with the dialogue? Can you? If you can do all these 3, you have achieved success criteria for today's lesson. Alhamdulillah, this is the end for today's class. See you again next week. Bye.